and welcome to this week's children's session. My name's Andy.
And I'm Victoria.
And we're really excited to introduce you to a new 7-week series. It's called
Words of Hope.
And each week we're going to be introducing you to one word that helps us to understand the message of the New Testament. The part of the Bible that tells us about the life of Jesus and his followers, and all kinds of communication, writings between them as well. So hopefully each word will help us to understand the message of the New Testament. Week number one.
Week number one, and the first word we're going to look at today is fulfilment.
Fulfilment.
Fulfilment. That's quite a long word.
That is quite a long word.
Fulfilment. So we're looking at that and thinking about what that means then.
I wonder if you know what that word means. If you do, why don't you tell someone if you're in the room with them now?
I don't really use it very often. Do you use the word fulfilment lots?
No.
I think, let me just have a quick thing. I think it's got something to do with promises.
Yes, it's coming back to me now.
Yeah.
If you promise to do something, and then you actually do it, it's like you fulfilled what you said, what you promised.
So if you promise me that you're going to do something and you do it, you fulfilled the promise to me.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, that's what it is.
To make sure you've understood it, why don't we give you some examples?
So what are you promising me, Andy?
I promise you that I can do 3 roly-polies in a row. Let's see if I can fulfil my promise, shall we?
Yeah, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Fulfilled. Ta-da!
Okay, Victoria, your go. What are you going to promise that you can do?
I promise I can eat a whole packet of Maltesers in one go. You ready?
Are they all in?
What?
She's doing well.
Stop!
Now, children, just say to your parents, I need to have a go at this as well. I'm just copying my children's leader. Promise fulfilled. Okay, the next promise I've got for you is I promise you I can run the whole way round the outside of the building in less than 10 seconds.
Really? Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, count down with me, everybody. We'll see him come back in 10, apparently. Ready? Go! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Did I make it?
No.
Did I make it?
No.
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 I haven't fulfilled my promise.
No.
Oh no.
Shame. Oh. So I promise that I can lead worship in church just like Calvin does. You ready? This is a favourite of mine. In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me on. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse.
Can I just stop you there?
Lighthouse.
Yeah, you said you would do it. You promised you'd do it as well as Calvin.
Promise.
Calvin normally does it in tune. I don't think you've fulfilled your promise. The singing wasn't bad, but the guitar, you would have been better off without it. So, sorry, you haven't fulfilled your promise.
So our promises, we were able to fulfil maybe half of them. I could fulfil 1 out of my 2, and you did.
Yeah, me, just 1 out of my 2 as well.
Oh, that's a shame.
It is a shame, and actually, it helps us think about our word fulfill and fulfillment this week. Because when Jesus arrived, God's people had been waiting for someone to come and fulfill the promises of what a special rescuer would be like. They were looking for clues as to what this person would be like.
It's a bit like the game Guess Who.
It is a bit like
Have you
the
ever
game.
played that?
I have.
That you kind of get clues to see who the person is that you're finding out about.
Let's give it a quick go now, shall we?
Okay.
So you're on my team at home. Here we
Okay.
go. Victoria, does the person I'm looking for have glasses?
Nope. Next question.
Are they wearing a hat?
Yes.
Oh, let's get rid of all the ones without hats. That was a good question.
That was a really good clue, that was. That will point you to who it is, I think. Maybe.
Is it a man?
No, it's not a man. Oh, wow.
I'm down to 4. And I'm down to 2. Does she have ginger hair?
Yes, she does.
Is it Maria?
It is Maria.
Yay!
Oh, well
Right.
done. So, Andy, you followed my clues and found out it was Maria. Amazing. It's a little bit like today that we're finding clues about who the special person that was promised was and how they fulfilled that promise. And you know what? In the Old Testament, the very beginning bit of the Bible, there were over 300 clues to who this promised person was.
One of the person that gave some of the clues was a guy called Isaiah, and we're going to hear a little bit from his story now.
The book of Isaiah is a message from God that he asked Isaiah to share with his people. And I'm going to read it from the Jesus Storybook Bible by Sally Lloyd-Jones. Dear little flock, you are all wandering away from me. Like sheep in an open field, you've always been running away from me, and now you're lost. You can't find your way back. But I can't stop loving you. I will come to find you. So I'm sending you a shepherd to look after you and love you, to carry you home to me. You've been stumbling around like people in a dark room. But into the darkness, a bright light will shine. It will chase away all the shadows like sunshine. A little baby will be born, a royal son. His mummy will be a young girl who doesn't have a husband. His name will be Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us. He is one of King David's children's children, the Prince of Peace. Yes, someone is going to come and rescue you. But he won't be who anyone expects. He will be a king, but he won't live in a palace. And he won't have lots of money. He will be poor, and he will be a servant. But this king will heal the whole world. He will be a hero. He will fight for his people and rescue them from their enemies. But he won't have big armies, and he won't fight with swords. He will make the blind see. He will make the lame leap like deer. He will make everything the way it was always meant to be. But people will hate him, and they won't listen to him. He will be like a lamb. He will suffer and die. It's the secret rescue plan we made from before the beginning of the world. It's the only way to get you back. But he won't stay dead. I will make him alive again. And one day, when he comes back to rule forever, the mountains and the trees will dance and sing for joy. The earth will shout out loud. His fame will fill the whole earth as the waters cover the sea. Everything sad will come untrue. Even death is going to die, and he will wipe away every tear from every eye. Yes, the rescuer will come. Look for him, watch for him, wait for him. He will come. I promise.
Did you spot some of the clues that Isaiah gave us about what the promised fulfiller will be like?
He said that the promised fulfiller would be a shepherd. He called him a shepherd.
That he would bring light to darkness.
He said that he was going to be called Emmanuel, God with us.
That he was going to be one of King David's children's children.
He said that this promised fulfiller would have a mum who was really young and not married.
And he said that he was going to be a king.
All of these clues were pointing to the promised Messiah.
The disciples had been longing and hoping that the one who fitted with these clues of Isaiah's was coming. They'd spent a little bit of time with Jesus, and in Matthew chapter 16, it tells us about a conversation that Jesus has with his disciples.
So from verse 13 it says, when Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God."
They discovered that Jesus was the Messiah, the promised one, the anointed one. Not only that, but he was the Son of the living God. Jesus was the one who fulfilled all the promises who God's people had been longing for. And we can know that Jesus is the one that not only has fulfilled all those promises, but fulfills all the needs that we have as well.
All of the needs that we can't sort out ourselves. The need for a rescuer, the need for someone to forgive us so that we can be friends with God forever. God gave Jesus as the promised fulfillment of everything in the Old Testament, but also for going on, for me and for you. He fulfills the need that I have to be friends with God because what he did on the cross, dying and rising again for me.
Week number 1, we've looked at fulfilment. I hope you understand what that word means. Now we can enjoy that Jesus is the fulfilment of all the promises in the Bible, and he's the fulfilment of what we need as well. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week.